Okay, it definitely cut me off. I'm sorry. So in the book about chameleons, I'll turn to a page about how the chameleon is camouflaging, and then in Halibut Jackson, I'll read 1 or 2 pages of him changing his outfit to blend into the background. So after I read a few pages from each of these books and write down more important words on the word bank on the whiteboard, I'm going to group the students into stations. So there's going to be 3 stations around the room, and they're going to be decorated and color coded accordingly to the books. So one of them is going to be an ocean theme with like a blue tablecloth and pieces of coral, and one is the jungle / rainforest with green streamers and plants, and then one is the city with different patterned fabrics, and I would like to have a mirror there as well. At each station, there's going to be copies of the books, poster paper, markers, and then I'm also going to have a sensory bin in each of the groups, and it has specific items that are found from the book. So like the Love Agnes octopus book is going to have pieces of coral and rocks, among like other things that are blue and purple. And then same thing for the rainforest chameleon one is going to have leaves and branches, as well as stuff that's like green and brown. And then the other one is going to have a fabric and gold and silver pieces, because that corresponds to the book. There's also going to be a fact finder sheet in each of the stations. This is for the students to fill out. I'm using sentence stems to help with the ELL students. So, for example, the students have to read through the books and fill in the fact finder. So, one of the examples I gave is Agnes the octopus is a shapeshifter who can pretend to be a bumpy blank or a piece of blank. And then the students have to go through the book and find where it says that and then fill that in. In each group, so there's going to be 3 different groups, all with 3 students, and then one group is going to have 4 students. I broke these groups up intentionally based on their skills, their interests, and their English proficiency levels. And so in the groups, there's going to be a reader / researcher. They're in charge of reading the book and finding the facts in the book. A writer is the one who's going to write down all of the facts and the information later on. The director presenter, they are going to be kind of directing the flow of the group. Not really, because they're 2nd graders, but they're going to be presenting in front of the entire class. And then for the 3rd group that has 4 students, I also made a different role for the architect. This is for the student with the executive function disorder and who has autism, and that's going to be mainly focusing on the sensory bin for him, and creating a hiding spot camouflage scene for the animal in the book with the items from the sensory bin. So I'm going to introduce the activities, the roles and responsibilities, the instructions. I'm going to introduce everything and explain everything before I send them off into their groups. Once I send them off into their groups, I said while the reader is reading, the writer should be writing down the important facts that are mentioned in the book. They'll have 10 minutes to read the book. These are pretty short books. The longest one is the chameleon book, so I'm a little concerned on how long that's going to take them to read. But they'll have 10 minutes to read the book with a timer on the board.